Alright guys, today's video is going to be a little different. Alright guys, today we're doing the Shadows of Evil Retrospective. Probably my favorite map in the series. I know I said Mob of the Dead is probably my favorite, but I've played this map way more than Mob of the Dead. It's a lot more replayable in my opinion than Mob of the Dead. Plus, it improved in a lot of Mob of the Dead setbacks, while continuing the story of Mob of the Dead indirectly. But we're not going to get into storyline stuff. Today we're just going to be talking about playing the map, my thoughts on the map. Now, I know at launch, at least in my friend group, a lot of the people stopped playing the map because they thought it was too hard, too difficult. They all played the Giant because the Giant was just a simpler map, easier to hop into and play casually. Which is true, and I think Black Ops 3 struggles in that aspect a lot. There's just a lack of simple maps. At least before Chronicles came out. Now you have Kino, Knock, Rook, the Giant, maps like that where casual zombies is easier to play. But until Chronicles came out, after the game's lifecycle had already ended, it wasn't like that nearly at all. Shadows is a fairly complicated map, especially for newer players, or Eisendrache is complicated, Zetsubo is complicated, Gorod's relatively complicated, Revelations is pretty complicated. But Shadows has a lot of, while it's complicated, and I can't speak too much about the other maps, I didn't play them a whole lot, other than their Eisendrache and Gorod. Shadows, you can get the Pack-a-Punch open in single player without using a Gobble Gum by round 2 or round 3. It's not hard. The sword is completely optional, and even upgraded, you can get it all done before round 20. The only thing that's not even really hard, but is more luck-based to get on Shadows, is the green part for the Wonder Weapon. Because it's a luck drop, one of the bees or meatballs has to drop it. But typically you'll get that by around round 20, round 25, and you really don't even have to hit the box on this map. The strat I do is just training to Rift with a Vesper with Blast Furnace or Deadwire on it with the Wonder Weapon with Alchemical, and you can get into the 50s. Like I got the 51 Flawless in this playthrough. Just went down when the recording started. And during this playthrough, unfortunately Theater Mode didn't record at all, or I would have skipped to closer to where I died. I got to round 69, and I'll show my leaderboards at the end of this. Shadows, like, not, like, I like Shadows is, like, set up difficulty. If you're a good player, you can get set up really quick on Shadows. Well, if you're a medium to lower skilled player, it can take you to around 10, maybe 15 to get set up. Plus, Shadows is just a really safe map and introduced one of the greatest perks, in my opinion, being Widow's Wine. Another reason why I like training in that spot down there is if you build the shield where I have it built over here, and you run out that portal, you buy Widow's Wine, and then you get your shield, which gives you immense safety while you go to get Jug. Not a lot of maps can say that. Your Eisendrache definitely can't say that. Transit for sure can't. Mob can't really either. The shield is good in Mob, and the afterlife system can kind of bail you out. But Jug is on the other side of the map from where you're usually going to be training. Shadows, like Mob of the Dead, has multiple training spots you can train in. You can train in this little market area outside spawn. You can train in the Rift. You can train in the Pack-a-Punch room right next to the Rift. I'm sure there's other places I'm forgetting that you can train in. Probably in front of the female character's place. All pretty viable spots, except for maybe that last one. Now, Shadows, I think, has the best designed boss in the game, being the Margwa. The Margwa, though he is a little more difficult than Brutus, compared to Mob of the Dead being the last retrospective we did, he's not annoying like the Panzer is. The Panzer's just really annoying. Like, that's the only word I can use to, like, sum him up. His concept is cool, but functionality-wise, I just find him annoying. It's why I don't play Origins. It's why I don't play the Reisendrache very much. You know, I do plan on doing a retrospective of the Reisendrache. Another aspect of the Margwa is that, like, yeah, Brutus has 2 stages where he drops a smoke grenade and you shoot his head off, but the Margwa, like, when it's running around, if you're not a super good player at the map, can just kill you fairly easy. Even without using Mega Gobble Guns, which I typically don't use on high rounds, especially on Shadow, just because of how easy I find the map to be. I don't have an issue with the Margwa. It can be annoying. I mean, the upgraded sword, if you can get it to go for his head, will just, like, rape him. But besides from that, and the fact that he spawns bees when you shoot his head and they're annoying, that's really, I think, fair design. It mixes the big boss with the little bosses fairly well. It gives you points for killing them and a drop when it spawns. Except for when you're doing the upgraded sword part, where he does not give you a drop when he dies. And the sword itself, while being cool, just isn't very good unless you upgrade it. And even then, it's kind of mid. You just gotta let it fly around for it to kill zombies effectively if you use it. In this high of a round, it's just not really going to do anything. One thing I've had issues with Black Ops 3 on PC is sometimes there's just, like, barriers I can't walk through. Like, if you rewind it a little bit, you saw I got caught, like, over there. Like, that's never happened to me on the Xbox One, the PS4, PS5, Series S, or X. Never happened. And on the Giant, sometimes when you go through the door where the Kudo wall-by is, like, I get stuck in front of that door with it being open, and I don't understand why. I don't know if it's just a PC, if there's, like, a patch I can get that'll fix it. I don't know. But, little side tangent there. What is your guys' opinion on Shadows of Evil? I really like the map. I think it's really well designed. I like the concept of it. I'm not a fan of all the squid stuff on the map, but I do enjoy the overall aesthetic. And I do also like the fact that you can find both the map of Origins and Mob of the Dead on Shadows of Evil. Pretty cool. But anyway, let me know your guys' opinion on Shadows. Let me know what map I should do next. I'll probably put a poll out in the community tab. And